Welcome to the Castle Country Real Estate Podcast. This is episode number 9. We're almost at 10 episodes, and I'm Josh Madsen. I'm from Real Estate Titans here in Price, Utah, and happy to be here to bring you your weekly market analysis, a little bit of a real estate hot tip, and some community events. So wanted to start things off, as always, with what's going on locally in Carbon and Emery County. Single family homes are kind of holding steady. We got 88 single family homes on the market right now, which is great. Still seeing some more inventory out there. We have seen only 6 properties sell in the past 7 days. That's down a little bit. I think we were closer to around 10 last week. And so that's something we want to keep an eye on. But overall, good market. There's more homes for buyers to check out, a little bit more time, as we've been talking about every week, for people to get out and check out some homes. People that were on the fence about selling have some more opportunities to find a home to move into outside of the one they're currently in. So these are good things that are happening. So to kind of give you a general, some general market information, basically here's what's going on. I wanted to pull up some mortgage rate projections, which is always important. As we've seen, mortgage rates were very low the last 2 years. And people are probably wondering what's going on with the mortgage rates. We've seen high inflation rates. The Fed has started to jack up the overall interest rates. And it's always good to kind of keep track of how that's affecting mortgage rates. So I'm just going to read you some statistics real quick. These are some projections for quarter number 4 of this year. We're looking at an average, and so they're kind of averaging out all the different Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, MBA, NAR, these different people that are giving these projections and sort of averaging out. So I'm just going to kind of give you the basic averages. So going into quarter number 4 of this year, the average of all 4 is 5.4%. As we go into the first quarter of 2023, they're looking at 5.3%. Quarter 2, 5.2%. Starting to see a little bit of a trend here. And they're saying by quarter 3 in 2023, 4.8%. So we're starting to see things, as interest rates around us may be going up. Historically, sometimes the mortgage rates start to go down. So that's what you're seeing here. Not massive, but 5.4 in the last quarter of this year, and they're projecting 4.8% in quarter 3 of next year. So that's good news. As far as home price appreciation, that kind of plays into that as well. Appreciation's slowing. We've talked about this in the past couple weeks, but it's not depreciating. This is something very, very important to look at, because when people think about a bubble, what's going on in the housing market, there's a lot of speculation that somehow this bubble is going to burst and everything's just going to tank. And that doesn't seem to be the case at all, because we're still in a supply-demand issue where there's not enough houses for the people that want or can qualify for them. So that's something just to keep in mind, is appreciation's probably going to start going down in the high single digits, unlike the 20% increases we've maybe seen the last couple of years. But not to worry that we're not going to see declining or depreciating housing prices, rather. I think I mentioned this the last couple of weeks as well too, is new homes being built seems to start declining a little bit, and this is going to play into the marketplace as we head forward, because it's going to create more demand again with not as many new houses being built. So keep that in mind. That's all I've got this week for kind of the housing market, what's going on, and things that you can look for. I thought it'd be fun for the real estate hot tip this week is talk about some myths about today's housing market, and sort of multiple hot tips, if you will, that you can take into consideration. So here's a few misconceptions about today's real estate market. Here's a buyer myth. I should wait to buy until home prices and mortgage rates fall. Reality. Experts say prices and rates will continue to rise this year. That means it'll cost you more the longer that you wait. So this plays a little bit into what we just talked about, the supply and the demand. A lot of people, I've seen this with clients of my own, people are sort of sitting on the fence. They're just waiting and waiting and waiting. and it just keeps getting more expensive. And now the interest rates are up. It's even knocked some buyers out of the market. All right, the next one, seller myth. I can set the asking price for my house at whatever I want. Reality, you can't pick just any price. Pricing your house appropriately for the market takes expertise. A real estate professional can help. I tell this to people all the time. Pricing is incredibly important, because what you don't want to do is just ballpark a price it too much, and then it doesn't even, it may not appraise for what you're asking, and that causes a situation called an appraisal gap. And in the past 2 years, that happened a lot. We're starting to head into a market where things are starting to cool off a little bit. You really need a professional to help you price your house accordingly and come up with a great marketing strategy to make sure to find the right buyer. So keep that in mind. Next one, buyer myth. Waiving the home inspection is a good idea if I want my offer to stand out. Reality, an inspection tells you the condition of the home and can help prevent unpleasant surprises. Waiving it could cost you. 100% agree with this. The past 2 years, waiving inspections became sort of this tool in the toolbox that if you're really confident, people would just waive it. Then you get into the house because they wanted to be competitive, like it was talking about. I'm not seeing that so much these days. As things, again, start to cool off, we can go back to being a little more normal, take our time to do a nice due diligence period where we have the home inspection, we find problems that could occur, and if there's an issue that needs to be addressed, either try to fix it prior to closing, or you can walk away from the deal. But those are things I can teach you as a realtor and help you through that whole process. All right, last one, seller myth. I have to renovate my house before selling it. Reality, partner with a real estate professional for expert advice on what you need to tackle. Some renovations may not be worth it in today's market. So this is a great one to end on as a real estate hot tip for sellers, is things sometimes may appear that you need to do something before you sell. And I totally agree. You want a property that's got good curb appeal and it looks good for when people come and see it. But sometimes you may not want to tackle things that are going to cost you more money than you're going to net in the end. And so by talking to someone like me, I can walk you through what things you may or may not want to do, and we can sort of assess that and figure out what's the best option for you personally. So to kind of wrap things up today, wanted to talk about what's going on in Castle Country this weekend. I know I'm heading out to Farron. Great little town. It's about 1,500 people, about 45 minutes from Price. And I'm sure if you're listening and you're from the area, you all know that. If you're coming from out of the area and you happen to come across the podcast in time to check it out, Farron Peach Days are going on. And they're going to be finishing up tomorrow on Saturday. And there's events all the way from like 7:30 in the morning into the evening. So be sure to check that out. You can go to farroncity.org/Peach Days. Check that out. I'll make sure to put it in the show notes. And hopefully we'll see you out there. It's a good way to support some of the other communities that are out here in Carbon and Emery County. And it's a great time. So just want to thank you again. I'm Josh Madsen from Real Estate Titans. Thanks for checking out the podcast every week. I hope it's helping you, whether you're a buyer, a seller, you own a house, and maybe you're just looking to keep in touch with the marketplace, which is great. Or maybe you're renting and maybe you're thinking about getting into the market. You can reach out directly to me, 801-388-4047, or you can reach out to me on the social media channels at Madsen, MADSEN.team, and I would love to connect with you there. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.